everyone, and welcome back to another episode of PS4 Gaming. It's been a few months, but I've suddenly been struck by a bolt of inspiration. But enough about me and my excuses and general laziness. Let's talk about those sweet, juicy games. But not just any games. Ones that you can play and have a blast with for under $20. The following is a list of great games that you may have missed out on during their initial release. Number 4. Shovel Knight. This game released back in April of 2015 on the current generation of systems from Yacht Club Games. Now, I'm typically one to complain about all of the indie/8-bit looking titles that we get on PS4, which have saturated the market, but Shovel Knight is an exception to my rule of hatred. I'm not the only one who feels that way either. Shovel Knight scored a 90 on Metacritic, which is nothing to scoff at. In Shovel Knight, you'll fight your way through a 2D side-scrolling platform game in all of its 8-bit glory. You control a knight who dares to wield a shovel in the face of evil. This shovel is used to dig up treasures and smash enemies' noggins like Link's Down A in Smash Bros. Shh, Nintendo reference. During your playthrough of each level, you'll come across a salesman who will dole out sexy new weapons, for the right kind of money of course, and items for you to conquer the level with. These include things like throwing weapons and gloves that let you punch harder than Mike Tyson. Meanwhile, one of the most awesome 8-bit soundtracks is pumping you up the entire time. And if my endorsement isn't enough, even Pro Jared gave this game a glowing review. And if you don't know who that is, go find him on YouTube. Number 3. Dishonored Definitive Edition. Dishonored released in 2012, and in the week before its release, it was the third best-selling game on Steam based on pre-orders. Now, just let that sink in for a moment. The PC Master Race was so excited about this game that they pre-ordered it straight into the realms of glory. And, during its first week of sales in the USA, sold over 460,000 copies, trailing only Pokemon Black version 2, Resident Evil 6, and, strangely enough, NBA 2K13. Now, I personally don't play games for a great plot. I play them for fun, and that is where Dishonored delivers. Critics go back and forth on whether or not they agree that the plot is good, but I don't care. Dishonored is an action-adventure game where you essentially play the role of a stealth magician ninja. The main character is framed for murdering the Empress of Dunwall, the main town in the game, and becomes, wait for it, dishonored. Take revenge on those who crossed you with swords, mines, bolts, and runes, all while wearing a totally dope mask. Unfortunately, the game isn't a massive leap forward in graphics from its 2012 original, but you can still have a blast on a budget with Dishonored, the Definitive Edition. Number 2. Tearaway Unfolded. Now, I'm going to be honest and tell you right away, up front, with nothing to hide. Although it received positive reviews from a variety of outlets, Tearaway was a commercial failure in every region in which it was released, except for the UK where it did kind of alright. The game was originally released for the PS Vita, but in an attempt to cash in on their failure, Sony decided to release it for their newest console, slap a subtitle on it, and try to spark some life into it. Tearaway Unfolded is a third-person platforming game where you are encouraged to use your imagination to interact with the environment to advance through the story. One very unique feature about this game is your ability to draw items that will then be present throughout the rest of the game and will aid you in your adventures by using the PS4 touchpad or even the PS4 camera, should you own one. It's the little things about this game that make it charming, aside from its mostly paper environment, of course. For instance, the light on the back of your DualShock allows you to illuminate darker areas, or manipulate platforms. You can use the touchpad to blow enemies away, or knock down parts of the level for you to climb up on. What I'm trying to say is, this game is great, and you should give it a chance. Number 1. Lego Marvel Superheroes. If you're like me, then any mention of a new Marvel IP coming out gives you raging nerdgasms. For me, Marvel Superheroes was no different. And when I found out that I could play as 180 different characters from the Marvel Universe, my head almost exploded. In a totally ironic plot, if not predictable, Silver Surfer is captured by Dr. Doom, shattering Silver Surfer's board. When Doom gets a hold of it, he forges the almighty Doom Ray of Doom. But, as you may have guessed, Nick Fury brings all the superheroes together to kick some super ass. Beyond that, the plot gets rather confusing, as there are 180 different characters. But my point is, you get to punch everything into tiny Lego pieces. If you've played any of the other Lego games like Star Wars or Batman, then this one is quite similar. You'll have to have the skills to beat up various bosses, and the acute mentality to handle the numerous puzzles thrown at you throughout the entire game. Recently, a spin-off of the game has been released, but while fun, hasn't received quite the same level of reviews as this original. Well, there you have it, guys. 4 games you can buy just by saving up your lunch money. Now, I know there's a few other games that I've missed, but I just can't afford to play anything, or I've already talked about them, or I left them off the list for some selfish, petty reason. What would be some games that you would like to see drop down under $20 soon? Let me know. Oh, and if you have any suggestions for videos, I could always use the help. Thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe for sort of regular biannual content. If you enjoyed the video, then leave a like and share it with a friend.